Hello, it's me, Yvonne, today. And as you can see, I'm not in my wheelie chair today. I'm in my rocking chair today. Anyway, so I thought today we could start off with some amazing facts. I love facts, and these facts are about us, each and every single one of us. Okay, so fact number one, I hope you're ready for this. You are going to have your mind blown. Fact number one. Did you know that an average person's heart beats 100,000 times a day? 100,000. 100,000 times a day. That is a lot of heartbeats. And did you know that the average person produces a litre of saliva in their mouth every single day? 1 litre of spit, the saliva in your mouth every day. That's a lot of spit. But did you know that you cannot swallow all this saliva that you're producing? You cannot swallow and breathe at the same time. Bet you didn't know that. And now you're sitting there trying to do it, aren't you? Yeah, you can't. You will not manage to do it because it is impossible. You cannot swallow and breathe at the same time. And did you know that your tongue, sticking with the mouth here, you'll have noticed, but your tongue is the strongest muscle in your body? I mean, your tongue, look, it's not very big. It's not the biggest muscle in your body, clearly, but it is the strongest muscle in your body. Ha, who knew? Okay, did you know that your eye never changes size? So whatever size your eyeball is when you're born, it stays that same, that size right up until the day that you die. It never changes size. Whereas your nose and your ears, they are constantly, continuously growing from the day that you're born right up until the day that you die. Your nose and your ears never stop growing. Your eyes never change size. And your eyes, the muscles in your eye that help your eyes to focus so that you can see things clearly, the muscles that help your eyes to focus complete 100,000 movements every day. 100,000. If you were to get your leg muscles to move, to do like 100,000 movements a day, you would have to walk about 50 miles. That's a lot of movement going on in your eyes there. Madness. I love our bodies. I love what our bodies can do. Did you know that messages zoom around your body, like along your nervous system, from your brain to your brain, from your brain to your brain, to your brain, from your brain, all around your body at 250 miles an hour? 250 miles an hour. That's speedy. Speedy. And did you know that 50%, that's like half of the strength of your hand, okay, half the strength of your hand comes from your little finger. Your little finger. Half the strength of your whole hand from your little finger. Never underestimate the power of the little one. Did you know that the average person loses about 4 kilograms of skin cells every year? Ew, 4 kilograms, right? 4 kilograms of skin cells just flaking off, floating around all around us, landing on the furniture, just there in the air. 4 kilograms, every person, every year. Yeah, that's a lot of dead skin floating about. But skin is so amazing that it's constantly regenerating. So even though you lose 4 kilograms every year, you also regenerate 4 kilograms every year. It's amazing stuff. And this is a good one. The average person has 67 different bacteria living in their belly button. Just in your belly button. Yeah, that is some belly button fluff. Seriously though, wow. I mean, wow. Our bodies are amazing. You are amazing. I wonder if you stopped to think about that recently. Have you? Have you recently stopped to think, do you know what? I'm amazing. I'm going to bet that you haven't, because it's not something we actually do all that often, is it? To stop and think about how amazing we are. But our bodies, they do amazing things. Let me ask you a different question then. Okay, rather than have you recently thought about how amazing you are, let me ask you a different question. What are you good at? No, seriously, go on, have a think. What are you good at? Because all of us are good at something. All sorts of different things. Maybe you're good at something sporty. Are you good at something sporty? Are you a really fast runner? Are you good at footy? Another sport? Maybe it's a sporty thing that you're good at. Or maybe you're a really creative person. Are you good at creating stuff? Maybe you love drawing stuff or painting or making crafty things. Are you a creative person? Is that what you're good at? Or are you good at reading? Is that your thing? Reading or science or maths, is that what you're good at? Or are you maybe one of those people who are good at, seeing stuff that maybe other people don't see? Do you notice if somebody's perhaps a little bit quieter or a little bit sadder than usual? Are you good at noticing those sort of things? Are you a good friend? Are you a good listener? Are you the sort of person that people know they can come to and tell their problems to, or just come and have a chat with because they know that you are always going to listen? Is that you? Is that what you're good at? Or are you good at cheering people up? Is that your thing? Are you good at cheering people up? Is that you? Seriously, I could sit here and go on and on. I could sit and rock and go on and list all sorts of things, because every single one of us is good at something. And there are so many things that it might be that we're good at. Everyone. I mean, seriously, take a look at the person sitting next to you. Go on, just have a quick look that way. Yeah, have a quick look that way. Have a quick look behind you. Even have a quick look at your teacher. Everyone in the same room as you now is good at something. We're not all good at the same thing. I mean, think about it, that would be daft. If we were all good at the same thing, that wouldn't work at all. It needs to be that we're good at different things. And everybody is, there is something that everyone is good at. There's a bit in the Bible where this fella called Paul was writing. Now, Paul, tell you a little bit about Paul. Paul was one of the followers of Jesus. And Paul loved to tell people about Jesus. He went all over the place telling people about Jesus. He travelled here and there to this country and that country. I mean, he went all over the place. He really did. All sorts of countries and cities and towns and villages. Paul travelled because Paul so badly wanted to tell as many people as he could all about Jesus. And as well as telling people about Jesus, Paul also wrote to people. Paul wrote loads of letters to different churches, to groups of people, to followers of Jesus that he wanted to encourage and to try and help them understand a little bit better maybe what it meant to be a follower of Jesus. And some of those letters that Paul wrote are in the Bible. So one of the ones that he wrote, he started writing things about the body, really. He said this. He said, a person's body is one thing, but it's also lots of different things. It's one thing, but made up of lots of different parts. It's not just an eye. I mean, if a body were just an eye, how would you be able to hear? And if the body was just an ear, how would you be able to run anyway? If your body was just a foot, how would you be able to eat anything? Can you imagine? Can you imagine not being able to eat anything? Can you imagine never being able to eat chocolate because your whole body was just a foot? Paul's like, it's not like that. The body is made up of lots and lots of different parts, and every part of the body has an important role to play. No one part is more important than the other. Each part of the body needs all the others so that it can work properly as it's supposed to. The body is one thing, but it's made up of lots and lots of different parts. Now, when Paul wrote that, the people that he was writing to, he wasn't really giving them a biology lesson. I think the people that he was writing to understood that their bodies were made up of different bits like hands and feet and mouths and eyes and stuff. I think they knew that. What Paul was really doing was trying to show them that every body, every person is different, but everybody is important. Everybody has got something to offer. Everybody has got something that they're good at. Everybody has got a part to play. I mean, think about a footy team, right? So those of you who know me, you will know that I really quite like my footy. With a footy team, you've got 11 different players on the team, and each of those players has a different position. They've got a different role to play. Not everyone in a footy team has got the job of trying to score goals. They're not all strikers. Some of the players are going to be defenders, trying to stop the other team from scoring. That's a really important role. And then, of course, you've got the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper, really important job. They have to keep the goal safe. They have to try and stop the other goal from getting the other team from getting the ball into their net. The goalkeeper has a really important job. But can you imagine if the goalkeeper suddenly decided one day that they didn't want to stay in goal anymore? They thought that scoring goals was more important than keeping goals out of the net. And so they decided to abandon the goal and go and try and score goals. Can you imagine? I mean, that would just make the work of the rest of the team so much more difficult, because they'd all have to work that much harder to try and keep the ball out. Well, except maybe in exceptional circumstances. How cool was that? So, okay, goalkeeper there became goal scorer. It's not often that happens, but in that particular situation, our goalie knew that he had to use his other football skills to try and help the team. The team had all come together. It was right at the really, really very end of the match. There was nothing else going to be happening. This was the last thing that was going to happen in the match. So he knew he was safe to leave his goal. It was okay. The other team had no chance. There was no time for them to try and score afterwards. And he went forward to be a part of the rest of the team, to do his bit. And what a fantastic bit it was. Brilliant. Love it. But that doesn't normally happen. Everybody has their own part to play. There is something that we are all good at. And maybe what you're good at isn't the same as what your friend's good at, but that's okay. The Bible tells us that God made us who we are, just as he wants us to be. And each of us is different. We are unique, but we are valued and we are loved just exactly for who we are. And who we are Well, who we are has a part to play. Each of us has something we're good at, something that we can offer, that when we share it with others, we can become part of a whole thing, and suddenly everything can become so much better. What are you good at? There is something, and when you share that thing that you're good at with those around you, it can make a massive difference. I'm going to pray to finish as usual. So when I get to the end, if you want this to be your prayer as well, well, then you can say amen with me. Dear God, thank you that there are different things that we're all good at, but there is something that we are all good at. Help us to know what it is that we're good at, and help us to be willing to share what we're good at with those around us, so that we can come together and make where we are a better place, a better school, a better community. Help us to realise the part that we have to play. Amen. Have a really good rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing. Bye.